The movie starts with a pretty and well-liked high school girl named Ho-rung. She comes from a rich family, and many students in her school know her. Ho-rung is also popular on social media, but not everyone likes her because she acts cold and seems arrogant. She doesn't have many close friends in school, except for one cheerful guy named Kim Yoo-seen. One day, the school's broadcasting club is having a meeting to plan their activities for the next semester. The leader of the club is a good-looking boy named Go On-tak, who is also popular in school. However, On-tak is really focused on being on time and only cares about his close friends. During the meeting, the broadcasting club decides they need a new announcer and decide to ask Ho-rung to join them for the role. Apart from knowing that Ho-rung has a beautiful voice, they also believe that her popularity can help their club get more attention. One afternoon after school, On-tak went to talk to Ho-rung and asked her if she'd like to join the school broadcasting club. However, she said no because she thought club activities would be too much trouble for her. The next morning, as On-tak was heading to school, he bumped into Ho-rung again on the bus. She looked very tired, so he took the initiative to close the bus windows to let her rest comfortably. But things got awkward when Ho-rung suddenly woke up, and they found themselves staring at each other from a very close distance. Every day, the school's broadcasting club reads messages they receive on social media, and each broadcaster leaves a short comment in response. During this session, Ho-rung was chilling in the school garden, leaning against a tree all by herself. But when she accidentally heard the message, she got really worried and scared. The message was mysterious and seemed like it was meant for her. While others might have thought it was just a joke for Ho-rung, it felt like the message could expose her hidden secrets from the past. After the strange message incident, Ho-rung goes to the broadcasting club room and agrees to join the club, thanks to On-tak's offer. She hopes that being in the club will help her find out who sent the mysterious message to her. Another club member named Ji So-yoon feels uneasy about Ho-rung being there, but decides not to say anything. On her first day in the broadcasting club, Ho-rung arrives a few minutes late, which really upsets On-tak because he strongly dislikes people who can't be on time. Even though she initially wants to explain herself, Ho-rung chooses to apologize to avoid getting kicked out of the club. After joining the broadcasting club, Ho-rung found out that the message she received was anonymous, and only the club's administrator could figure out who sent it. Knowing this, Ho-rung works really hard in the club, hoping to become an admin. She wants this chance to find out who sent that mysterious message. After school, Ho-rung meets So-yoon at the bus stop, but their conversation is really uncomfortable because they had a bad history of not getting along back in junior high school. The next day, when So-yoon is on duty as an announcer for the school radio, she receives the same mysterious message that Ho-rung got before. When Ho-rung hears this message, she rushes into the broadcast room and dares the anonymous sender to confront her directly instead of hiding. This situation leads to a fight between So-yoon and Ho-rung because Ho-rung believes that So-yoon might be involved with the mysterious message, given their previous bad history. After the broadcast finished, On-tak went to the broadcast room and scolded Ho-rung for making mistakes during the school broadcast. As a result, he decides to kick her out of the broadcasting club and tells her not to interfere in other people's matters just because she's popular at school. Despite being one of the popular students in her school with many followers on social media, Ho-rung is a quiet student who usually keeps to herself. Even though she has Yoo-seen as her closest friend, she is still too scared to trust others and likes to handle her problems on her own. Yoo-seen is one of those students who often acts goofy and tells jokes in class to make people laugh. He always seems happy, like he doesn't have any worries, but he also has his own issues. When it comes to love, Yoo-seen's love life isn't as great as his school life. He has had a crush on So-yoon since they first met in their first year of school. However, his efforts to win her affection haven't been easy because So-yoon is more focused on her schoolwork and isn't interested in having a romantic relationship with anyone. After the commotion that Ho-rung created in the broadcasting room, On-tak is still puzzled about why she behaved that way. However, when he looks at the hateful and hurtful comments on Ho-rung's social media, On-tak starts to realize why she might have been upset by the anonymous message from yesterday. As a result, On-tak decides to visit Ho-rung and say sorry for his harsh words from the previous day. Luckily, she accepts his apology, and their relationship improves. The following day, Ho-rung is allowed to rejoin the school's broadcasting club, and On-tak offers her the opportunity to become the club's administrator. As soon as she gains access to the club's social media account, Ho-rung quickly checks the account from which the mysterious message was sent the other day. she discovers that the message came from an account called Harley. When Ho-rung learns that this account is friends with So-yoon's account, her doubts about So-yoon grow even stronger. She starts to believe that So-yoon might know who the actual owner of the account is. In the evening, while Ho-rung is playing music in the broadcasting room, she accidentally breaks Eun-tak's vinyl record. Instead of taking money to replace it, Eun-tak declines and suggests that she buys some snacks instead. Later that night, Eun-tak and Ho-rung decide to chat in a park while enjoying the snacks they bought. During their conversation, she asks Eun-tak why he cares so much about time and dislikes people who are not on time. He explains that being punctual means keeping the promises they make to others, and he doesn't like it when people break their promises because it can hurt others' feelings. The next day, Ho-rung starts to look into who owns the Harley account. This account has been sending mysterious messages to the broadcasting club, specifically for her. She even asks So-yoon about it, but So-yoon says she doesn't know why the account follows her on social media or who the owner is. Before Ho-rung leaves, So-yoon brings up how Ho-rung used to ignore her when they were in the same junior high school, but Ho-rung doesn't say anything in response. Since joining the broadcasting club, Ho-rung has not only tried to find out who's behind the Harley account, but has also learned a lot from being in the club. The busy schedule in the broadcasting club means that Ho-rung spends a lot of time with Eun-tak, and without her realizing it, Eun-tak starts to become interested in her secretly. As Eun-tak gets to know Ho-rung better, he realizes that she's not as bad as people have thought all this time. He believes Ho-rung is actually a nice girl who struggles to express her feelings in front of others. Ho-rung and Eun-tak both have a similar problem. They are both afraid to trust others and prefer to keep their issues to themselves. Eun-tak has to deal with his father, who always blames him for their family problems since his mother left when he was young. That's why he keeps himself busy with school activities to avoid returning to a tense family situation at home. On the flip side, Ho-rung has parents who love her a lot, but they're always busy with their own jobs and don't know about her troubles. Her mom and dad don't know about the traumatic incident that happened to Ho-rung, and they stopped celebrating her birthday since middle school. Even though she has great parents, Ho-rung often feels lonely and can't bring herself to share her problems with anyone. The only person who can make her feel better is Yusin, who has always been there to make her laugh with his jokes. After getting to know Eun-tak and hearing a bit about his own experiences, Ho-rung feels relieved that someone else understands what it's like to be lonely. She even thinks about telling him her secret, but then she gets scared that Eun-tak might distance himself from her if he knew about it. In Eun-tak's class, he becomes friends with a student named Do Woo-jae, who is a top student and also part of the school committee. Just like Eun-tak, Woo-jae is really good at schoolwork and focuses more on logic than emotions. However, he has a girlfriend who is very different from him. Woo-jae's girlfriend, Kim Jae-yi, is the opposite. She's very open and expressive. Because their personalities are so different, they often misunderstand each other and have arguments. But usually they make up by the end of the day. At one point, Jae-yi realizes that Woo-jae never truly opens up to her and pretends to like things just to make her happy. Even though Woo-jae wants to be a good boyfriend for her, Jae-yi wants him to be honest about his likes and dislikes instead of pretending all the time just to please her. This makes Jae-yi feel like she's dating a robot without feelings, which makes her really upset and sad. The next day, Jae-yi anonymously shares her relationship issues with Woo-jae on the broadcasting club's social media. Surprisingly, Ho-rung, who is in charge of broadcasting that day, picks Jae-yi's message and reads it on the school radio. After reading about Jae-yi and Woo-jae's problems, Ho-rung gives them advice to communicate better and talk openly to avoid misunderstandings and fights. After the broadcast ends, Jae-yi visits the studio to ask Ho-rung for her thoughts on her relationship with Woo-jae. Meanwhile, Woo-jae, who heard the broadcast, seems to have realized his mistake and decides to ask Jae-yi to meet after school. At first, Jae-yi was hopeful because she thought Woo-jae wanted to work on their relationship. However, she was disappointed when he told her that he wanted to break up. Woo-jae confesses that he has had feelings for Jae-yi since they first met at the tutoring center. But he was too scared to tell her, and he was pleasantly surprised when Jae-yi took the first step. Woo-jae believes that their different personalities make it difficult for them to understand each other, so he thinks it's better for both of them to end the relationship rather than continue fighting, which would only make Jae-yi unhappy. One day, the broadcasting club had a meeting to plan for the school festival, which was just a few days away. They decided to do a live radio broadcast in front of a big audience, with Ho-rung as the live announcer on stage. In the days leading up to the festival, Ho-rung keeps receiving scary messages from the Harley account. It's shocking because Harley knows she's the club admin. The account keeps sending messages to the club's social media, saying they'll reveal Ho-rung's secrets from the past. Meanwhile, Yoo-sin is still trying to win So-yoon's affection. So-yoon is quite popular at school, but she prefers hanging out with male students over female ones. Some girls who dislike her spread rumors about her having relationships with many guys. So-yoon knows Yoo-sin is interested in her, but she's comfortable with their friendship the way it is. On the other hand, even though Jae-hee and Woo-jae broke up weeks ago, they can't stop thinking about each other. They both still have strong feelings for each other. In contrast to Jae-hee and Woo-jae's failed relationship, Ho-rung and Eun-tak's bond actually gets stronger because of the time they spend together in the club. At first, Ho-rung doesn't realize Eun-tak's feelings for her, but as time goes on, his attention makes her feel comfortable around him. One night, Eun-tak asks Ho-rung why she doesn't defend herself when people insult her. She explains that no matter how many times she defends herself, people still believe what they want to believe. After that, Eun-tak gets a call from his mother, canceling their meeting, which she had promised several times before. This makes him think his mother doesn't love him anymore. Feeling more at ease with Ho-rung, he starts to tell her about his problems with his mother, and she offers some suggestions to help him. Before they part ways, Eun-tak confesses his feelings to Ho-rung that night, but he doesn't pressure her for an immediate answer, giving her time to think. On the night of the school festival, all the students gather in the auditorium to watch the different clubs perform. It's an event where students from other schools can also come and enjoy. The festival is lively with impressive dance, music, and drama performances. During the play, a boy from another school, who knew So-yoon from social media, approaches her and asks her out. He keeps insisting, but So-yoon declines and tells him she's not interested. After So-yoon leaves, Yoo-sin, who overheard their conversation, goes up to the boy and asks him to leave her alone. Then he goes to So-yoon to check if she's okay. Yoo-sin understands that So-yoon isn't ready for a relationship, and he's willing to wait until she's ready to accept his feelings. When it's Ho-rung's turn to the live radio broadcast on stage, many people cheer and are excited about her performance. Ho-rung's live radio broadcast was also shown on the Broadcasting Club's YouTube channel. She began reading messages from the club's social media accounts during the broadcast. However, in the middle of the broadcast, watched by many, Ho-rung came across another scary message from Harley's account. It threatened to reveal a secret she had been hiding. After Harley's account counted down in the live chat, all the students were shocked to see a photo spread throughout the school group. The photo showed Ho-rung with some older students from her junior high. The account that sent the photo claimed that Ho-rung had been involved in a bullying incident during her junior high days, and this news surprised everyone. All the students in the audience immediately turned on their phone cameras and aimed them at her, recording her reaction to the news. Ho-rung, filled with panic, collapsed on the stage without being able to defend herself. The situation became even more chaotic as all the students demanded an explanation. It turns out that the person behind the Harley account, who had been terrorizing her and spreading rumors about the bullying, was a girl named Hee-soo. She was a member of the Broadcasting Club and held grudges against Ho-rung. As things got out of control and students started to corner Ho-rung, So-yoon shouted at the organizers to turn off the lights and close the stage curtains. Eun-tak quickly went to Ho-rung and moved her to a safer place to protect her from any physical or mental intimidation. He didn't pressure her for an explanation because he believed she wasn't a bad person, despite what the rumors said. Ho-rung thanked him for trusting her and went home to calm herself down. The next day, Ho-rung went to school like nothing had happened and resumed her broadcasting activities in the studio as usual. Hee-soo was a bit surprised by Ho-rung's strong attitude, but still acted friendly around her. Jae-hee and Yoo-sin, who had gotten closer to Ho-rung, decided to ask her directly about the bullying rumors. They were relieved to learn that it was all fake news, and she wasn't a bully. Ho-rung had been pretending to be tough in front of everyone, but was actually hiding her pain because she wasn't ready to reveal the truth. After school, Ho-rung was approached by Seunju, a girl who had been her senior in middle school. Seunju used to bully Ho-rung during junior high, but the photos shared by Hee-soo of the school group didn't match what had actually happened. People wrongly assumed Ho-rung was the bully because of her cold and arrogant demeanor. Soonju approached Ho-rung to warn her not to expose the truth, as it could harm her newfound popularity on social media. On the other hand, So-yoon becomes curious about what happened to Ho-rung and decides to investigate the recent bullying incident. After school, Eun-tak noticed Ho-rung crying alone in the school garden. He kindly invited her to watch a movie together and assured her that he would patiently wait for her to open up, because he understood her fear of trusting others. The next day, So-yoon approached Ho-rung to inquire about what had happened to her and why they had grown distant years ago. Instead of sharing the truth, Ho-rung asked So-yoon not to dig deeper into the bullying incident and quickly walked away. Meanwhile, Hee-soo feels frustrated when she realizes that some people still support Ho-rung and stick by her. Ho-rung still has Yoo-seen, Eun-tak, and Woo-jae, who are always there for her. JD, who has been visiting her apartment often since her breakup with Woo-jae, is very concerned about Ho-rung's well-being and helps her ignore all the hurtful comments. During a school spiritual camp, interactions between Woo-jae and JD are still awkward, but it's clear they still have strong feelings for each other. On the other hand, Yoo-seen is happy because he gets to spend a lot of time with So-yoon. One night, Jae-yi accidentally dials Woo-jae when she checks their chat history. Surprisingly, Woo-jae responds right away. He suggests they meet secretly in a warehouse, where they express their longing for each other. After a moment of silence, they share an intimate kiss to celebrate their rekindled love. On the same night, Ho-rung leaves her dorm room to look for Jae-yi when she realizes she's not there. Unexpectedly, she runs into Eun-tak, who wants to confide in her. Sitting by the pool, Eun-tak talks about his parents' divorce and how his mother left when he was little. His mother repeatedly promised to meet him, but always broke her promise, which is why he despises people who can't keep their word. Ho-rung advises Eun-tak to meet his mother and have a conversation to understand why she always broke her promises. She explains that some people choose to stay away from those they care about to protect them. After the spiritual camp ended, Eun-tak followed Ho-rung's advice and met with his mother. During their meeting, he learned that his mother had started a new family, but he couldn't find the words to respond. Before parting ways, his mother apologized to Eun-tak for what she had done to him in the past. His mother had tried to meet him several times to say a proper goodbye, but she was too afraid of facing another separation. She admitted feeling deeply sorry for leaving him and still loving him very much. After hearing his mother's explanation, Eun-tak finally understood what Ho-rung had meant earlier. Although he couldn't fully heal from the pain of his past, he felt relief knowing that his mother still loved him deeply. Meanwhile, So-yoon continues her investigation into the bullying incident involving Ho-rung, because she's still worried about her. As she follows various leads, So-yoon becomes increasingly suspicious of Hee-soo's actions and starts to believe that Hee-soo might be behind all the chaos. So-yoon decides to approach Hee-soo and secretly figures out the passcode to her phone to confirm her suspicions. After checking Hee-soo's phone in secret, So-yoon is shocked to discover that Hee-soo was the one who shared the photos of Ho-rung on the day of the festival. She also learns that Hee-soo was the person behind the fake account named Parley, which had been terrorizing Ho-rung all along. That night, after deleting Ho-rung's photos from Hee-soo's phone, So-yoon confronted Hee-soo and demanded an explanation for what Hee-soo had done to Ho-rung. Hee-soo angrily expressed her hatred for Ho-rung, believing that Ho-rung deserved all the hate because of her past actions. During the conversation, it was revealed that Hee-soo had attended the same middle school as Ho-rung and So-yoon. She resented Ho-rung because she had been rejected when she tried to befriend her. Hee-soo didn't realize that Ho-rung had rejected her to protect her from being bullied by the same seniors who had tormented her. Hee-soo felt deeply hurt by what she thought Ho-rung had done to her, but she later discovered that Ho-rung had been a victim of bullying by those same seniors throughout their time in junior high school. One night, Hee-soo accidentally witnessed seniors trying to bully Ho-rung at a karaoke place on her birthday. This traumatic experience led Ho-rung to never celebrate her birthday again. When So-yoon learned the truth, she couldn't help but cry, realizing that Ho-rung had been avoiding her to protect her from the bullies who had tormented her. So-yoon felt deeply sorry and blamed herself for not being there for Ho-rung during her difficult times. So-yoon then pleaded with Hee-soo to stop harassing Ho-rung and spreading false information about the bullying incident. Unfortunately, her warning didn't deter Hee-soo, and she even escalated her actions by sharing photos of Ho-rung being bullied by seniors at the karaoke place. Initially, Hee-soo's intention was to embarrass Ho-rung and show that she was a victim of bullying. However, people misunderstood, thinking that Ho-rung was the bully. Seeing this, Hee-soo pretended to be a victim of Ho-rung's bullying, hoping to isolate Ho-rung further and push her friends away. After Hee-soo posted a false confession on the school's website, So-yoon rushed to ask her to remove the post. However, she accidentally spotted Ho-rung secretly talking to Hee-soo. To So-yoon's surprise, Ho-rung had already discovered that Hee-soo was the owner of the Harley account, responsible for spreading false information in the school group. Hee-soo smiled with satisfaction, revealing that her fake confession was an attempt to bring Ho-rung back together with her former best friend, who happened to be So-yoon. Seeing So-yoon's arrival, Ho-rung assumed that So-yoon had known the truth all along and was playing along with Hee-soo's scheme. She tried to escape, but So-yoon stopped her and explained that she had only recently learned the truth. So-yoon tearfully confessed that she felt tormented for not being able to help her suffering friend. Witnessing her beloved friend in pain, Ho-rung felt torn and unsure about how to react. She hoped that So-yoon would never find out the truth or would at least pretend not to know, even though she was already aware of it. After Hee-soo's fake confession spread on the school's website, people started to sympathize with her, and she finally got the attention she had been craving. In response to this situation, Ho-rung chose to confess to being the bully and act arrogantly in front of everyone, rather than appearing weak and potentially attracting more bullies. In reality, the reason she had been acting tough all this time was to shield herself from potential bullies who could harm her in the future. However, as Ho-rung recalled the kindness shown by her closest friends, such as Jae-yi, Yoo-sin, and Eun-tak, she began to realize that she didn't need to put on a strong facade for everyone. She made the decision to visit Eun-tak and share the truth about her middle school bullying experience. The next day, Ho-rung shared her past on the school radio broadcast. She chose not to reveal the true identity of the bully who had targeted her because she didn't want to escalate the situation. At the same time, So-yoon presented evidence that proved all of Hee-soo's confessions were false and part of a scheme to tarnish Ho-rung's reputation. When Hee-soo's lies were exposed, those who had sympathized with her turned against her, and she became isolated. Meanwhile, Yoo-sin, Jae-yi, and some other friends were relieved that Ho-rung had the courage to speak the truth to everyone. Ho-rung met with So-yoon to express her gratitude. With So-yoon's support, Ho-rung found the strength to share her story. Their friendship, which had been strained, slowly improved, and they returned to being close friends like before. Similarly, Woo-jae and Jae-yi also reconciled and became more harmonious after gaining a better understanding of each other. Meanwhile, Yoo-sin's efforts to win So-yoon's love eventually paid off. So-yoon decided to prioritize Yoo-sin, even though they hadn't officially become a couple yet. In contrast, Ho-rung and Eun-tak chose to make their relationship official once they realized they had a deep understanding of each other's feelings. As things were improving for Ho-rung, Hee-soo had to face the consequences of her actions. Before transferring to a new school, Ho-rung advised Hee-soo to change and build friendships with people who would accept her for who she truly is. After all the ups and downs at school, Ho-rung and her friends returned to their normal activities, being true to themselves without any secrets. The movie ends with a scene of Ho-rung attending a school festival, warmly welcomed by everyone. So the moral of the story is don't mess with a broadcasting club member or your secret might become the next school radio hit.